What's up, people? Welcome back. How's everybody doing today? Happy Wednesday. Yes, hump day, as some people might say. But here we are. It's the middle of the week, sort of. And what? Yes, it is the middle of the week. Thank you. Thank you. And we're about to get ready to do something super healthy, super quick, real easy, and kind of amazing. All right, so stay tuned, stick around, and don't go nowhere. All right, I want to welcome you to the Everyday Everything Vegan channel here on Kitch with your host, Chef Ed Harris. Yes, and I'm really excited because we're doing the highlight today. The vegetable highlight is kale chips. Well, kale. What we are gonna make is kale chips. Thank you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. It is 2 days away. You know what I'm saying? So I am very happy. And I just got some really good news. So the day is getting much better as it progresses. All right. So, like usual, we have a recipe already attached to this stream. But like I always say, we're gonna kick it up a notch, like Emerald Lagasse used to say, you know. But we're gonna do a few things, excuse me, a little different. But you have a recipe, and the recipe that I created for you is a very straightforward recipe that allows you to kind of play around with flavors, right? The whole point is for me to give you a blueprint, a base where you can start, and then from there, when you're feeling real chefy, you can do your thing. You know what I mean? So, welcome. Let's jump right into it. We're talking about kale. We know kale that's amazing for us. It has tons of fiber, nutrients. I mean, it's all around amazing. All right. And there are different types of kale: dinosaur kale, lucinto kale. I think I'm saying that right. Don't quote me on that. I always mix that word up. There's Russian kale. I mean, there's probably over five varieties of kale, if not more. But just you play around with it. Some are much thicker and more fibrous than others. The Russian kale is more tender and does not have these massive stems like you see here. All right. And we're going to talk about all of this because first things first, let's go over to make kale chips very straightforward and very simply. All you need is kale, oil, salt, and pepper. That's it, right? For something very basic, very straightforward if you don't want to get fancy. Now, if you want to get fancy like me, then you're going to have some flavored oils. You're going to have some flavored nutritional yeast. You're going to have some soy sauce, some chili oil, sesame oil. We have all of that. So we're going to do little pockets of flavor. So this way we can really experiment and see what flavors work for you and what flavors you like. All right. So if you are a purist and you just want to go something straight up original, then salt, pepper, and olive oil is your best bet. You can even mince some garlic, put it in there. All of these will give you amazing flavors. All right. So first things first, we want to make sure we have our kale washed, and you want to get it super dry. You don't want any additional water left on it because that is going to slow down the process of it getting nice and crispy. All right. Because we want our kale to be like when we're eating it. You know what I mean? We don't want no soggy kale because who eats soggy chips? Like there is no such thing as soggy chips. All right. I don't even think you can call it chips if it's soggy. Right. So you wash your kale and you make sure you dry it. If you don't have a salad spinner, not to worry. Wash it ahead of time, lay it out on a paper towel, and let it air dry. After about 30 minutes or so, flip it over so it can totally drain top and bottom. All right. So you rip off all the leaves, but you don't throw away your stems. You keep that stems. And why would we keep the stems? I'm glad you asked that question, ladies and gentlemen. The reason we would keep those stems is because one, you can cut them up real nice, use them as stir fry. That's one. Two, you can use it to make pesto. Three, you can throw it into your rice, chop it up real small. I mean, you can use it to do pretty much anything else. All right, so don't throw it away. That would be a waste. We want to make sure that we maximize everything that we're spending our money on. Otherwise, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? So we're gonna put that to the side. All right. I'm gonna probably do some stir fry because I haven't done that in a really long time, and I love me some stir fry. All right, so we're gonna do some mushrooms, we're gonna do some cabbage, we're gonna do some of the kale stems, and we're gonna just do what it do. All right, so we're gonna spin this. And if you want to stop it quickly, you stop it quickly. All right, so this is gonna allow us to get rid of, look at that, almost no water. Well, I did good in draining it, but you never know. All right, we want to get rid of as much water as possible, if all the water. All right, that's the whole point. Okay, so we're gonna put that to the side. I'm gonna keep it in here because we're gonna be mixing these in batches. All right, I have my baking pans that we're gonna put them in to bake. You can line them with a parchment paper if you want, but if you have like really cool nonstick pans like these, it's like your shield. You don't need to put any paper in there. I'm just playing around. Anyway, first things first. So we're gonna grab about a handful. All right, and your kale chips, you don't want them too big. You don't want them too small, because if you do pieces like this, by the time these bake, they're gonna be half or a quarter of the size. So you want nice sizes, so when it's done, you can pick it up and you can kind of see what it is that you made. All right, so not too big, not too small. Next important step when doing kale chips, you want to make sure that if you are using whatever you're using to season it, you don't want to put too much. The more liquid you put, the longer it takes to bake, and then you're going to end up with something that's not really kale chips. You're going to probably end up with like charred kale, which is totally delicious too. But we're doing kale chips today. All right, so very little oil, right? That's about it. And that's probably not even a tablespoon, right? Pinch of salt. And then black pepper. And what we're gonna do is massage the kale. All right, I know. And what do you mean by massage the kale? You're rubbing the oil and the salt into the kale. All right. And what that does, it changes the color of the kale slightly, but it also sort of breaks down the kale a little bit, right? Gets the fibers really nice and loose, and it helps with the cooking of this. All right. And that's basically it. Like, how easy is that? And now, if you want to do like, a plain, original flavored, basic kale chip, right? So this is done. We're gonna put it here like this. Now, the other important tip when making kale chips is that you don't want too much of an overlapping situation. All right. So when you put it down, make sure that there is enough room in between. It doesn't have to be completely separated from each other, but you don't want a situation where you're doing this and then you're putting the kale right on top. You don't want to do that. It has to be spaced out. All right, like this. Okay. So we're gonna put that in there. So that's the first batch. Let's grab another handful. Make sure the sizes are good. Tear that up a bit. Get a little handful more. And now we're gonna go for the flavored kale, which is my favorite. Wipe my hands a little bit. Put that down there. First things first, we're gonna go with some Nutiva coconut oil butter flavor. All right. And take a spoon and just kind of drizzle it over. Remember, we don't want a lot of oil. All right. Very little. Okay. Very little. See how I did that? Just kind of the back of the spoon and let it drip. And then we're going to go with nacho flavored nutritional yeast. Yes, there is such a thing. Okay. So we're going to sprinkle that on. All right. This is going to add vitamin B12. It's going to add salt, and it's going to add flavor. All right. So be careful how much of this you add in there. All right. We're going to go with a little bit of black pepper, of course, and then a very tiny pinch of salt, not too much. All right, like that. And then we're gonna give this a nice little rub a dub dub. And what I like about adding the nutritional yeast, it gives it this natural cheesy flavor, but it also looks really nice on the kale. It's like these little orange specks when it's, done. All right. So this is our second one. And then when you smell it, it smells cheesy, right? So it's pretty cool. So that's how you would do some sort of a cheesy flavored kale chip. All right. And we're going to add this to the other half of our baking pan. Now you might say, what about if it gets mixed up? That's totally fine. It's totally fine. If you don't want to put it together, you don't have to. You get a separate pan. But hey, I'm just maximizing containers here. All right. So this is the first one we're going to put to the side because I have one more mix to do. All right. And this is going to be our Asian flavored one. All right. So I'm going to do the rest of the kale. All right. Make sure that we don't have completely massive pieces in here. All right. Boom, boom, boom. That's good. Tear that up. Yes. Okay. Let's just dump this whole thing in there like that. Okay. So for this one, we're going to go with, let me wash my hands. It's a little sticky. Okay, paper towel. Put that to the side. All right, first things first, we're gonna go with our chili oil. So this one's gonna be slightly spicy, not too much. Remember, we're not putting that much oil, right? And this is my seasoned oil that I actually made on Kitch. So if you have never seen this, you should definitely check out my Kitch for this. It's a super delicious oil that I really, really love. All right, and then we're gonna go with some Coconut Secrets aminos. All right, not a lot, right? Remember, we don't want too much liquid, okay? Very little. Like that, okay? And I'm gonna do a drop of sesame oil because this is our Asian flavored one. You know what I mean? Okay, that's good. Cover that up. Put the wrong lid on there. Okay, then we're gonna go with a little bit of salt, black pepper, of course. And now for the rubber dub massage. Wow, wow. Smells so good. All right. Don't be afraid to get in there. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. You want to really massage these babies. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay. So these are ready, just like that. And you're only going to bake these in the oven. You're preheating your oven. All right. You want to make sure that you put your oven on at about 300 degrees, right? And you want to make sure that your oven has been on for at least 15, 20 minutes or so you can be at that temperature, that true temperature of 300, right? Because if you turn on your oven and as soon as it hits 300, you put them in, it's going to drop down in temperature a little bit. So we want to make sure that the oven's been at that set temperature for a couple minutes, 15 minutes or so before we actually go in there and bake. All right. When you're done, your bowl needs to be like this, like dry. There should be no liquid running down your bowl. If you have liquid rolling or running down your bowl, then you definitely put too much seasoning. All right. You want to be very, very careful of that. Okay, so let's open up the oven and let's put these babies in all the way in the back. And we're gonna leave that alone. So that needs to bake for about 15 minutes or so. And everyone's oven's different. If you have a convection oven, that works really well because the convection allows the hot air to circulate because there's a fan in the back. That's why it's called a convection oven. But if you don't have a convection oven and you have a regular oven, then it might take a little bit longer and you might end up with some might be crispier than some, but you want to check it, you want to rotate if you need to. But like TV magic, it's already done. Oh, yes. Can you imagine? Listen, you hear that? That's Kale Chips, right? If it doesn't make that kind of noise, then thank you. You know. So these are, look. I'll show you just how they're supposed to be, right? Now look at this. You can literally crush it and turn it to dust, right? So now you have kale powder, basically, right? Mm, it's so crunchy and just so light. It's literally like a wafer. I know you heard that crunch, ladies and gentlemen. I know you heard that crunch. So 15 minutes in the oven, no big deal. They come out amazing. This, you can put it on top of your pasta. You can put it on top of your salad. You can put it on top of your soup, right? I mean, or you can just eat it as a snack. You know, the kids can take this to school, lunch, whatever, dinner time. I mean, it's amazing. And literally all we did was bake it for 15 minutes or so, right? So you can do this too. It takes no time. And you can literally play around with flavors. You can do sriracha and lime. You can do maple syrup. You can do smoked. You can make a bacon flavored kale chip. I mean, the possibilities are endless, honestly. You know, you can really have fun with this. All right. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for the love. I appreciate each and every one of you. All right. We have another comment here. What does it say? Yummy Chef, I love your channel. Oh, Faye, you guys are so sweet. I love you guys too. You know, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. We're done for today. I will see you the next time I see you. I'll be 1 year older, possibly. I don't know if I'm gonna come on before my birthday, during my birthday, or after my birthday. I don't know yet. I'm excited because I'm sure my wife has a few things up her sleeve, so I can't wait to see what that is. And I can't stop snacking on these. They're so crunchy. Mm. All right, people. Before I go crazy, love you. Cook well, eat well, be well. All right, be strong and don't give up. All right, this is your plant based journey motivator, mentor, sending you lots of love. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You can find me on all social media and on here. All right, just look for Chef Ed Harris and I got you. All right, so with that, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you an amazing rest of your day. I'm out. Peace.